Hi, I'm Joshua Kemble, and this is vlog number 5. This is the vlog where I discuss the process of creating and making and lettering my own comic, which you can read at quarterlystories.com. So this is vlog number 5, and in this vlog I'm going to be discussing roughs, and then I go from rough to layout. And a lot of this utilizes photo reference, so it's going to look a little silly. This is very sped up, but I'm posing for each character, and then from there I'll take it, hand letter it, and then pencil it, and then forward to inks. But in this process video, I'm going to show the process that I use just to lay out a page. Generally, I will start with a rough, which I do usually in a little sketchbook, and it's super, super rough. So as you can see, I have all of my page layout. I kind of screwed up, and these two won't be used. But in general, this is kind of what it's going to look like. And it's just for me to basically know what to shoot in photographs so that from there I can do a very quick, accurate drawing for the page. Thanks to all of you who have liked, commented, subscribed, or shared this channel. The more people who subscribe, the more people who like, the more visibility it gets, and the more I feel encouraged to continue with this on this journey of making this graphic novel. Without further ado, here's page 37 being laid out.
Okay, so this is the process video for basically all the prep work that I do in lead up to working on a page for Quarterly Stories. So this is me doing some panel layouts. As you can see, I already have a pre-existing template that I built when working on the first chapter of Quarterly Stories. And so from there, it's about customizing the panels to fit based on my thumbnail. So here I'm working on word bubbles, and they're all custom-made word bubbles. And I tend to like using fonts as a basis to start my hand lettering process, since I'm not by any means like a calligraphy expert or anything like that. It's a nice way to kind of cheat and yet still get that really unique hand-done look to the comic. So here I'm customizing a word using really big block sans serif and building a shadow and then rendering it. And I've noticed that sometimes if you just use a font that's not altered in any way, it just doesn't have quite as creative of a look. And then here I wanted a script to kind of just fit this sort of retro look and feel that I'm going for on the page. And here I'm adding kind of a little bit of filigree to the type. So that's what's happening. Once I'm finished with this, what I'll tend to do is print it at full scale, and then from there I will use it as a template to kind of hand ink over. So here you'll notice that I'm going through my reference photos that I shot right before this video, where I've posed for each and every character, and now I'm basically trying to size everything, scale everything so that it works in perspective. And these poses, once again, are all based on that funny little rough, the little chicken scratch rough that I showed at the beginning of the video. So the neat thing about graphic design and illustration and cartooning is a lot of the time you find a lot of creativity and freedom when you start just super loose and you're not being precious, and when your thumbnails are like super, super tiny. So yeah, so now I'm basically masking out. It's kind of like cutting out these pictures using the cut tool and just the sizing tools and free transform tools to kind of place these photographs into place, rework my type layout a little bit so that it'll work. And once again, once I have this, I'm using the type as a reference to hand letter over, and then I'm going to be using the photographs as reference to base my pencils on. And these always look kind of funny because it's literally like, 20 pictures of the same person. And when I get to penciling these, I'll obviously be looking at my character sheets and kind of modifying the characters so that they fit the story. Here I'm throwing in kind of some generic backgrounds that can act as a template to base my pencils off of. And we're almost done. So once I've completed this task, what I'll usually do is print it out.
All right, that's how I do a quick page layout, basically ruling out my panel borders, laying out my typography, and having everything prepped for pencils and then inks. How do you lay out your comics or artwork? What's all the prep work that you use? I'd like to hear it in the comments section. And thanks again to all of those who commented, liked, shared, and most of all, subscribed, which you can do right here, right down there, to my channel. It really helps out, and it keeps me going in this strange process of art that we have. All right, have a good week. See you next week.